Hello, hello, hello. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, August 18th, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. That's right, trends in the news. Can't get them anywhere else, anyplace, anyhow. We're the only magazine in the world that tells you what you need to know, what you need to do. And you need the Trends Journal to give you history before it happens. We don't tell you what to do. This is how we see it. And we're political atheists. We don't take sides on anything. So the markets. All right, get this straight. It's summertime and the living ain't easy. Yeah, so people are tuned in to themselves. The market's a whole nother game right now. People aren't, the market's just playing out. It's not going to become real again until about the middle of September, beginning of October. So what's going on in the market is just it's a playground. It always has been, but more so now. So the S&P, was up, it was down, it closed flat, mixed a little bit. And what happened over here? Retail earnings continued Thursday with reports from Kohl's, Bath & Beyond, blah, 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 while existing home sales dropped nearly 6%. Home sales are dropping. So what does it mean? Well, the prices are still up, but they're going down. And it all depends on how high interest rates go, because the higher the interest rates go, you're going to see the mortgage rates go up. But there's a much bigger story behind this. They keep talking about home sales, but nothing, hardly, about office occupancy rates and the disaster facing the commercial office building sector. It is unparalleled. There is going to be a crash like you've never heard before in your life. The crash of 29 will sound like a blip compared to this enormous crash that's going to take place in the office building and other commercial sectors in cities. Let's go back 2 years ago when these low-life pieces of scum shit, politicians, politics, many ticks, made up the fucking crap. You got to work at home. Can't go to work. Don't take a train. Stay home. Lock down. We're closing down everything. And then go back to 2020. And read all the news. And again, we detailed it in the Trends Journal. Every one of these fuck faces in the mainstream prostitute media kept repeating the bullshit, spewing out of these people's mouths that it'll come back, and after Labor Day, people will be going back to their offices. Didn't happen. The next year, 2021, same fucking bullshit. Didn't happen. 2022, read your Trends Journal. Yep. Your new edition just came out Tuesday. Swallow our bullshit, follow our orders. One country after another telling you what to do. The damage that's been done by the COVID war is incalculable. So, the markets, the central bank remains committed to fighting inflation, but indicated it could adjust its pace of tightening based on market conditions. Investors had hoped the Fed might slow the pace of its rate hikes after July's better than expected consumer price index. How's that for fucking prostitute bullshit? Consumer price index?
Bullshit.
Came in at 8.5%. Oh, wonderful. What are wages up? Oh, about 4.3%. And what's the real inflation number? Oh, probably more like 16%. Oh, and what's the interest rate? 2.25 at the top overnight rate. It's nothing. So it's keeping the Ponzi scheme going. Gold, it's still flattening out around where it is. Oil went up today almost $3. You're going to start seeing tensions increase because the word's out. The United States wants Russia out of Ukraine. More weapons are going there. It's heating up there. This thing blows up, it's going to blow up big. And now you're hearing, again, go back to the cover of the Trends Journal 2 days before Russia invaded Ukraine. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war. Now, one after another, Rutgers, Louisiana State, one place after another, they're coming out with this. These will be the effects of a nuclear war. One place after another. We've only been saying this. World War II is not ancient history. We had maniacs in charge. And if we don't unite for peace, we're going to die in war. Oh, the big news, the little clown over there on the Cartoon News Network, CNN, this Brian Stetler. Yeah, the reliable sources. How about the unreliable sources? How about the same fucking scumbags you keep putting on over and over to keep, look at your Trends Journal cover, to keep putting out their swallow our bullshit. That's who they put on. Well, they fired the guy. Well, they didn't fire them. They just got rid of him. So now maybe this guy, being that the clown that he is, he could play the court gesture, being that Ringling Brothers Circus is back on. Yeah, I mean, why not? Because it's one fucking circus. CNN, NBC, ABC, FUCKYOU, NPR. We are prostitutes. We're media whores. We get to pay to put out. We sell you bullshit. Oh, and the big thing was, Liz Cheney. Why did she lose? That was the headline on CNN. Why did she lose? Because people can't stand her. Just like they can't stand her father. Oh, a daddy's girl. Oh, she's so wonderful. She was Penis Cheney's daughter. Oh, Dick. I can't say Dick. I got to be proper. Penis Cheney's daughter. A nobody. An arrogant nobody. And one shithead after another saying how great she is. And how come they don't bring Penis Cheney, George Bush, all of the other ones that lied us into the Iraq war? How come they don't? Where's the FBI? Hey, where's the Attorney General? Oh, you're going after Trump for taking. I'm no fan of Trump's, but this is bullshit compared to the war crimes. Anybody that supports wars like this is satanic. That's the way I see it as a true American who believes in George Washington and the founding fathers. Anybody that supports peace, you're on the side of your God. But you're not allowed to talk about peace because little prostitute shits like a piece of Steltless shit never talk about peace. Don't bring anybody on that talks about peace. Matter of fact, maybe they're going to start calling peace misinformation or gender information. Anyway, going back to the markets, Fed signals caution on pace of increases. That's your story in today's Wall Street Journal. Yep. We got no interest rates compared to inflation. It's a joke. European gas prices hit high. Natural gas prices in Europe closed at records, with hot summer weather boosting fuel demand and Russian throttling back supplies. Total fucking bullshit. Sanctions put on by Russia by the scumbags in charge. UK inflation rate rate tops 10%. 10%. What's the interest rate? 1.75. What's the inflation rate yearly in Mexico? 10%. What's their interest rate? 8.5%. You see what a scam this whole thing is? This thing's going down big. It's going down hard. It's going down fast. Because annual inflation up almost 9% in the euro area. 8.9%. And you heard the crap spew out of Lagarde's mouth, the head of the European Central Bank, for a year and a half, that inflation wasn't real. And look where their interest rates are. Zero. It's a crime syndicate. You don't get any money when you put it in a bank. But hey, the big hedge funds, all the big private equity groups, all the big companies could borrow for nothing and buy up everything and keep making you a plantation worker of Slavelandia. Poland's economy contracts as Ukraine war takes toll. No, Financial Times. As Poland takes toll for the stupid fucking shit they did in fighting this war against Ukraine. Retail spending is steady as online picks up. All right? That's the headline. And then you read into it. Overall, retail sales, a measure of spending at stores, online, and in restaurants, were flat in July compared with the prior month's revised. All right? You're going to get a little boost now because school time, people are buying more shit for their kids. That's it. And then you're going to get another one come around Christmas time. The crash is coming. The crash is coming. Home sales fell nearly 6% in July. Yep. Let's see. Sales dropped about 20% from the same month a year ago. Is there going to be a housing crash? Again, it's all in your Trends Journal. TrendsJournal.com, the only magazine you're going to read history before it happens, and for the grand total of $2 a week. Nothing. And if you want a monthly thing, you could go to the site. You get a monthly for a couple of bucks. Business travel spending might not return, right? Yep. It's down at 1.4 trillion. That's what it was in 2019. It should have been a lot higher now because you got more people and more travel, but it hit 933 billion. So it's going to get worse because we look at the whole picture. People aren't going to be, if I'm in business. Business is tough. No, you don't have to go travel. Zoom up and do a meeting. Yeah, I could save myself a lot of dough. And this is going to hurt a lot of sectors of not only the airline industry, that's where they make most of their dough on business travel, but also to the hotels. Activity in SPACs reaches lowest level in 5 years. Yep, SPACs. How about scams? But this is important because it shows you that the boom, the fake boom, is drying up. It's flattening out. So it was a cheap money game. So it's running out as money becomes more expensive. Again, we've been writing about this in your Trends Journal. Old news to Trends Journal subscribers. We said this was going to happen, and here it is. Hydrogen planes show promise. I'm mentioning this because you're going to see a big article coming up next week on hydrogen by our top cat in the field, Ben Davis, who writes about this. Layoffs are being planned at more than half U.S. companies, survey suggests, out of Bloomberg, okay? Every week we've been giving you the layoff lines in your Trends Journal. Oh, but the markets are going up? Oh, it makes perfect sense. You know what that is? Shit. That's right. You see all these layoffs, you know where things are going. NATO laments Afghan tragedy. Isn't this something? Yep. This week's anniversary of the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan is a bitter pill that's to swallow for NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg, an arrogant fucking prick said, who sees the current conditions in war-torn country, quote, as a tragedy for the Western military bloc. A tragedy for the Western military bloc, you fucking murderous prick. You're a murderous prick. What we've seen in the last year is actually a huge setback in the tragedy for Afghanistan, but also for all those allies and partners who work so hard to create a more peaceful and democratic country. Peaceful and democratic? You fucking invaded the place. How come? We're going to get that guy, Osama bin Laden, dead or alive. That's what little Georgie Bush spewed out. And that's what the American people bought. 88% of them supported the war. This fucking prick. Stoltenberg claimed that NATO, quote, achieved a lot in fighting terrorism, the original mission in Afghanistan, but the secondary goal of turning the country into a peaceful and stable democracy, quote, proved to be extremely much more difficult. How many fucking countries have they invaded? I love it. Oh, the French are moving out of Mali now. Oh, yeah. Oh, the place that they colonized. Isn't that a nice word, colonized? Oh, and they're in the Niger region. You know why? Because that's where they get all the uranium from, and they have the most nuclear power plants around. Oh, and Mali went to shit when they overthrew Gaddafi. Oh, and that little prick Hollande invaded. We wrote all about this when it happened back in December or early January 2012. All the facts are in the magazine. Nothing you're getting in this. Pentagon estimates Taliban took control, you ready? Of over $7 billion in U.S. military equipment. Hey, we got the smartest military. Oh, yeah, we got Austin. We got Smiley Miley. We got Mad Dog Mattis. What a bunch of fucking losers. You're losers, and you're stealing our money, and I don't like it. And now with the IRS getting $80 billion or something like that, so they could steal more of our dough. Oh, yeah, they're going to go after the big people. No, they're not. The big guys know how to play the game. And they got all the lawyers and accountants they need to get these little bureaucrats of nothing to wipe them out. The Inspector General said that the U.S. military destroyed nearly all major equipment used. You know what that is, don't you?
Absolute bullshit.
Yep. The U.S. spent $2.3 trillion on the war in Afghanistan. Isn't that something? $2.3 trillion to kill people and accomplish nothing other than more hatred. And then when they attack us, the people whose families have been killed, they're militants and terrorists. U.S. won't release $3.5 billion in Afghan aid. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Oh, yeah, we don't want to go into the Taliban. No, it's only their money. Just like we stole, what, $300 billion from Russia. CDC director, on a whole nother note, Dr. Rochelle Walensky acknowledges the agency's response to COVID-19 pandemic fell short. Yep. She goes on to say the overhaul announcement follows an internal review that found CDC's, quote, rigid compartmentalized bureaucracy undermined its response to COVID-19 and slowed its data analysis and releases of public advisories. When the pandemic guidance was offered, it was confusing and overwhelming, the review found. In other words, just as I said, they made up this shit. Shitheads made up the shit. Shitheads made up the shit. Stand 6 feet apart! Put on your mask! Take the vax. Hey, Jill Biden got COVID. Get another shot. Get another shot. When you go to a restaurant, got to put the mask on. When you sit down, you can take it off. Plexiglass, doesn't go under, doesn't go around. All right? Total bullshit. Our public health infrastructure in the country was not up to task of handling this pandemic, Walensky said. Then fire her. Fire her for fucking up. Fire her for fucking up. Why not? Oh, our public health infrastructure? A bunch of fucking bureaucrats. Stupid fucking people who can't get a job in the real world who suck off the public tit. And they destroyed life. And she goes on to say, was not up to task of handling this pandemic. It wasn't a pandemic. It was a political lockdown that destroyed the lives and livelihoods of billions around the planet. And what else we got here? Wrapping up, we got a lot of stuff. You ready? Pandemic fraud claimed billions meant for relief. Big story in the toilet paper record. Like almost $6 trillion so far has been pumped in, and one big scam. And again, they go on to say that the coronavirus shuttered businesses and forced people out of work, but the federal government sent a flood of relief money. No, the coronavirus didn't shutter businesses. Scumbags shuttered businesses. Arrogant little fucking pricks like Andy Cuomo shuttered businesses. Arrogant little boys like Katso and Gavin Newsom. Not the coronavirus shuttered businesses. This is pure lies. And this is the lie they're going to sell in the future. So when people repeat the history, it's going to be nothing more than...
That is bullshit.
That's right. And what else we got here? A lot more. A lot more be in your Trends Journal. But I'm going to tell you something else, man. This drought is serious, and it's global. And for whether it's beef, cotton, you're going to see it all over the world. This thing is really very serious. Very serious. Even up here in Kingston, man, it's dry. You know, Cooper Lake up here is, oof, it's way down. So this is big. And again, they said that they have a drought conditions now in Europe that they haven't seen some of the estimates in 500 years. So 500 years, how many people were there in Europe? Not that many. You go back to 1917, there were about 1.7 billion. And that's only like 100 years ago. And now we have 8 billion. Now with these worsening drought conditions and all these people and states, you know, in Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, there are all pressures happening. This is very serious. We're going to have to see what's going to happen. And this drought's been going on for years. So, again, you can't, as I say, nobody's a futurist. You can't predict the future. There are too many wild cards. I mean, be they made by nature or by humans. And the human wild cards are the destruction of life that they're doing to us with wars, forcing whatever they're forcing on our lives. And nature is a whole nother game, and you just can't predict it. So what we're saying is prepare for the worst, because the worst is on the near horizon. Hopefully it'll change, but we have to do something to change it. And when I'm trying to do all I can with peace, I'm tired of this bullshit wars, all this trillions of dollars spent to kill people. What did it do? Enrich the military-industrial complex. So please support us. Go to occupypeace.com, occupypeace.com, or for the church, freedompeacejustice.com, freedom, peace, justice. If you support war, you're on the side of Satan. If you support peace, you're on the side of God. That's the way I look at it. Think for yourself. Thanks a lot. And don't forget, tune in yesterday to Salenti and the Judge. Boy, Judge Andrew Napolitano is really onto it. What this government is, where it's going, and what we need to do. Thank you. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war. Are you prepared for what's next? These are unprecedented times. What's next? What's going to happen? Read the Trends Journal. We have an unsurpassed track record of forecasting history before it happens. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.